let's start this week with Sydney because it really was the star performer of the week, with buyers coming out of the woodwork to create a thumping preliminary clearance rate of 81.2% from 365 auctions. Now, if you zoom in on that figure a bit further, you'll see that North Sydney and Hornsby posted clearance rates of over 90%. Northern Beaches returned 87.5%, so some very strong figures there when you drill into Sydney. Now, these CoreLogic results will likely be revised down through the week, but the theme of strong clearance rates and weak volume certainly seems to be holding on. Now, if we go south to Melbourne, posted a 73.2% clearance rate from 501 auctions, basically the same sorts of numbers as we were seeing last week. But again, if you drill in, southeast of the city was a standout, posting 87.2%. Across the combined capital cities, the clearance rate was 70.4% from 1,107 auctions, in line with last week's numbers. And lower clearance rates were seen around some of the smaller capital cities, with Brisbane posting 39.6%, Adelaide recording 58.6%, and Canberra clearing 63.8% of the properties that were put up for auctions. Now, for more details on this weekend's auction action, we're joined from Adelaide by Kevin Brogan, Chief Auction Commentator at CoreLogic. Kevin, thank you very much for joining us as always. Now, some particularly strong numbers, up near 90% within Sydney. Do you think that's a particularly strong signal, or has that been bubbling away for a little while?
Oh, look, the regions that we're seeing in Sydney that are leading the charge, I mean, you mentioned North Sydney and Hornsby and the Northern Beaches as the two highest performing sub-regions. I mean, they are also the sub-regions with the highest median sale price, I mean, sort of 1.4 million and 1.3 million respectively. You know, the significance of that, I think, is that it was actually the higher value properties that were hardest hit during the latest phase of softening. And now they seem to be leading the charge in terms of the improved market conditions and particularly the auction clearance rates.
Some very strong numbers there from the top end of the market. I just quickly wanted to ask you, before we get on to our top property of the week, spring's only 3 weeks away. Are we expecting that rebound in volumes that we're so keen on?
Oh, look, we are seeing a little bit of an uptick in volumes from our preliminary count for the next couple of weeks. This week we had about 1,100 auctions. I think next week we're looking at just over 1,300 and then about 1,400 or slightly more the following week. So as we expect coming into spring, an increase, but it's certainly not a surge of listings that we're still looking out for in September.
Now, Kevin, we haven't got a whole lot of time to talk about the highest price paid, which was almost $4 million for an apartment this week. It's in Kirribilli. Any surprises there?
Oh, look, this is again, water views, as you said. I mean, it's a fantastic position in Kirribilli. It's one of three-storey cream brick apartment buildings built in the 1970s. Purchased in 2004 for $700,000, to give you an idea of the capital growth in this location.
Amazing, their property there. All right, on the water. Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic, thank you very much.